Uy, volvió Lore. Saluditos, compañeros. Tarara, tarara.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, teacher. Good
Hey,
evening.
good evening. Welcome, Lorena.
Hello,
Welcome back.
teacher.
Hi, Carla. Nice to see you. Lorena, welcome back. So we are gonna start in a moment. Just give me 1 second. I'm looking for my charger. Just give me 1 second. Oh, oh, okay. So guys, yesterday we were talking about simple past. Right now we're going to continue because it wasn't complete. Flores todavía no me saludo. Okay, so I see Diego, Lorena, Carla, and Fajardo. So just let me share my screen. Hey guys, by the way, today we're going to have a very, I'll say like kind of complex topic because it is present perfect. Um,
Ahí.
yes, I want you to pay attention to this topic and just to be clear with the simple past and when to use simple past. Remember that we use simple past when an action started in the past and finished in the past. So it doesn't continue in the present. Okay, just keep that in mind. That is simple past. An action that doesn't affect the present, that just finished in the past. So yesterday we were talking about how to formulate questions in simple past. And there was a question that was like very hard to get it, which was um with who when we don't use auxiliary. So just remember that whenever we don't know who the subject is, we are not gonna use auxiliary. So that is the only knowledge question that doesn't require an auxiliary, okay? But the rest do require auxiliaries. So for example, what, when, why, where, those always carry auxiliaries. Only who is the only exception here. So I think this is the presentation. Yeah. So this was yesterday's presentation. So this is just no question. Wait. So this is just no question. So first we have the simple present form. And down below we have the simple past form. So okay, so in this case, in order to turn this sentence or question in simple past, we are going to eliminate or change actually the auxiliaries and the expression depending on the context. So for example, instead of saying do, we are going to use did. And in this one, because we are using the to be verb, we are going to use either was or were. Okay, so for example, we have are, and then we have where. In this case, we're using where because we're using you. But for example, if we are using she, he, it, or I, it's gonna change. It's going to be was. Okay, so we have, do you work today? Did you work yesterday? Are you in the park? Were you in the park? So now we also have WH questions like this one. So in simple present, we have, where do you work? I work in a hospital. In simple past, we have, where did you work? So let's pay attention to the question and the answer. So in the question, the only thing that we will change is did and do. So we only change this. This remains the same. But what happens in the answer? In the answer, we are going to turn this verb into past. So the past of work is worked. So we also need to pay attention to the pronunciation because it is essential. No. So this is the activity that we didn't complete yesterday, which was about questions. So remember, we in the question, we use the base form verb. In the answer, we use the verb in past. Okay. So, you know what we're gonna do. So we're going to spin the wheel. You're going to get a question. You have to read the question and answer it. So the first question goes to Diego. Diego,
How do you play with?
how or who?
Perdón, who did
Uh-huh.
you play with?
Uh-huh. So what would it be the answer?
Is in the past, ¿verdad? Simple past.
Yes. So for example, if I ask
Um,
you, hey Diego, who do you play with?
oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
How do you play with? La
Who?
respuesta sería who. Sí, cierto, se me olvida, perdón, teacher. Me está procesando el monito en el cerebro.
¿Cómo respondería esa pregunta? Who do you play with?
Eso quiero hacer, responderle eso. How do you play with?
¿Cómo empezamos una oración?
Ay, ayer lo hicimos para teacher.
Yes.
Ay, era.
I played with my sister.
Oh,
Who's talking? Who's talking? Saraí.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. Very good. So guys, remember, the structure for the answer will be the subject. Si Carla Guerra, welcome. We have the subject, verb, past,
en paz.
plus complement. That's it. So this is what we need. So I played with my sister. That's the subject. I played, the very past, with my sister. I played.
I
with,
play it with my
no,
friends.
I'm not
No?
saying play it. I'm saying
I
played. Played.
played.
I played
I played
with.
with my friends, por ejemplo.
Excellent.
Okay. Jugué con mis amigos, algo así.
Yes.
Okay.
Carla Hernandez.
I visit.
What is the past of visit?
Mm.
No lo googleé.
No, estoy pensando.
Visit is considered a regular verb. Therefore, we are going to use ed at the end. So what's the pronunciation of this verb in past?
I visit.
The pronunciation? Acuérdense de que los verbos que terminan con T o D en pasado se van a pronunciar con id. Entonces,
It.
I visited.
I visited my
my
doctor.
Diego, wait.
Oh,
Carla.
perdón, perdón.
I visited my dad the last night.
Excellent. I visited my dad last night. Perfect. Fajardo.
Where did you learn English? I learned.
No learned.
¿Cómo sería?
Learned.
Okay.
Repeat. Learned.
Learned.
Ajá.
Learned. Okay. I learned English in the speak.
At speak. Remember, speak is proper name. That's the reason we're using at. I learned English at speak.
At speak. Okay.
Very good. Guys, por favor, revisen la clase de el día que solo vino Carla Hernández y de León, porque ahí nosotros, porque solo dos se conectaron y ahí en esa clase nosotros vimos la pronunciación en simple past. Y tenemos que diferenciar los verbos en pasado, porque el tema que vamos a ver ahora, vamos a usar los verbos en pasado participio, que se parecen, pero no son lo mismo. So actually, the meaning changes. So actually, only regular verbs don't change, but the irregular verbs do. So be careful with the pronunciation, because even though we have ed here, the pronunciation is different, and this one is played, visited, learned, visited, played. Okay, so we have this one, which is irregular, meaning that we are going to change the word completely. So, Carla Guerra, help me read this and answer it.
Okay. Where did you go yesterday?
Mhm.
Mm,
What is the past of this verb, to go?
Went.
Excellent. So I
went to supermarket
excellent.
yesterday.
Excellent. Perfect. So as you can see here, a simple past is very easy. It's considered one of the easiest tenses after simple present. So the only difficult part is the pronunciation of the verbs and memorize them. Okay, so let's see. Saray Ventura.
When did you buy your shoes? I don't remember buying fast.
I bought.
I bought last week.
¿El qué? ¿El qué compró? I bought.
My shoes.
Ajá.
I bought my shoes last week.
Excellent. I bought my shoes last week. Lorena.
What did you eat this morning? Mm, I
Ajá.
¿Cómo lo pongo en negativo?
I didn't.
I didn't eat this morning.
Very good. So Lorena, in this case, we're using didn't. So didn't is telling me that the sentence is in past. So we are not going to change the verb. So I didn't.
Entonces siempre sería eat. I
Yes,
didn't eat this morning.
excellent. So remember, cuando se usa el did or didn't, the verb remains the same, base form. We don't change it. Solo cuando no lo usamos el did o el didn't, ahí sí se cambia el verbo. Otherwise, we don't change it.
Pero siempre está en pasado ahí, teacher, la respuesta.
Yes, because didn't is telling me that the sentence is in past.
Ok, no se
Ya
cambia el verbo.
No, ya el didn't me está diciendo de que el didn't ya me está diciendo que el verbo está en pasado, que la oración está en pasado. Por eso ya no cambia. And the last question is for me. So, let's see. What did you watch on TV 2 hours ago? I watched a movie on TV 2 hours ago. So, I want you to pay attention as I mentioned to this. Los que terminan en ed se le conocen como verbos regulares. Los que no terminan en ed se le conocen como verbos irregulares. Yes. So, what's the difficult part? The pronunciation. Just remember, this one is visited, porque termina en T. This one is learned, porque termina en N. This one is because it ends in CH. Aunque tenemos ed, la pronunciación is different. Visited, learned, watched. That's it. And we have the last activity. Let's see. Diego. Diego. Lorena.
Yes. My mother went to the shopping center yesterday.
Excellent. Carla Guerra.
I watched, creo que así se pronuncia.
Watched.
Watch.
Ajá.
I watched a new movie on TV last night.
Okay, repeat. Watched.
Watched.
Con T al final. Watched.
Watched.
Perfect. I watched a movie on TV last night. Perfect. Saraí.
Yesterday night, my sister
Ajá.
ate spaghetti with vegetables.
Excellent. Fajardo.
I started started piano
Lessons.
lessons last Monday.
Excellent. Excellent pronunciation. Started. Perfect. Carla Hernandez.
In
2000.
2000, I loved playing chess, but now I hate it.
Excellent. Very good pronunciation. I loved playing chess, but now I hate it. This is chess. And the last one, Diego. Diego está muteado. Diego.
Le dio a la fuga.
Lorena, help me. Thank you.
Yeah. Yesterday morning, my father drank a cup of coffee. Yeah.
Drink.
Drank,
Drink. Yes.
drank.
Excellent. Perfect. Very good. So now I'll say this topic is over. Okay, it's completed. So now let's go to this. So the first question is, Fajardo, have you ever eaten Chinese food? So this is the question I'm asking you.
No,
Have
teacher.
you?
I don't.
I haven't
I haven't
eaten
eaten China food.
Chinese
food.
Yes. So this is the question. Have you ever eaten Chinese food? This is a yes no question because I'm starting the question with the auxiliary have. Have you ever eaten Chinese food? No, I have never. I have never eaten Chinese food like this. What about you, Lorena? Have you ever eaten Chinese food?
I love it.
Very good. Yes, I love it. Mhm.
I loving at chutney. ¿Cómo sería veggie Chinese food?
Veggie Chinese food.
Yeah.
¿Así?
Yeah, sí. It's a restaurant in San Salvador. ¿Cómo sería su nombre? Their name, ¿verdad?
Its name.
Its name is Maltime.
Really?
Yeah. Currently, they have 2 local sucursales. Antes solo
Branches.
había una. ¿Cómo?
Branches.
Branches. Dios mío, bendito, cállense. Chinga madre, cállense. Ay, pero extrañaba esto en el hospital, en serio. Me estaba enloqueciendo. No puedo vivir sin esto. But at the restaurant, o sea, the one restaurant, currently for the Universidad El Salvador.
University of El Salvador.
University El Salvador.
Of El Salvador.
Why? ¿No es nombre propio, pues?
Yes, but actually we can translate it. Lo podemos traducir.
And the other restaurants, bueno, el otro local, is Flor Blanca.
At Flor Blanca.
Flor Blanca. Ay, ¿cómo se decía cerca? Around, ¿verdad? Around of the Foodem.
Around of Foodem. Wow, Lorena, you have improved. You ha mejorado bastante.
Claro que sí, teacher. No los escuché por una semana.
Wow, excellent. Very good.
Supiera todo lo que hablé en mi mente yo sola.
Nice.
Horrible. Era espantoso, sentí que iba a enloquecer.
Me tomaré vacaciones, dice. Let's see. Sarai, have you ever tried Japanese food?
Mm, I don't like.
You don't like it?
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. Now let's see. What about you, Carla Hernandez? Have you ever tried Japanese food?
Yes, I love Japanese food.
Excellent. So, as you may have noticed, I was using the structure for present perfect. Ever. We normally use ever in present perfect when we talk about experiences. Okay, hey, have you ever visited another country? Have you ever eaten Chinese food? Have you ever gone to another country, for example? So those are experiences. And now we're going to learn present perfect. So the reason why we were discussing about simple past, or actually we were reviewing simple past, is because many students tend to get confused between this topic and, well, actually they tend to get confused between present perfect and simple past because of the verbs. But you will see that they are totally different. So let's watch this video. Not this one.
The
Ay,
present
no,
perfect.
teacher.
Yeah, the
Yo-
advertisement, sorry.
Y yo deseando una coca ahorita.
Sorry.
Present perfect. What are verb tenses? Verb tenses show if an action takes place in the past, present, or future. The present perfect is a verb tense. We use the present perfect tense for two reasons. The present perfect can show a finished past action. It doesn't show when this action took place. For example, I have been to Australia.
Okay, so let's pay attention to this. So we use present perfect when we don't know when an action occurred. I'm sorry. So for example, we have this one. I have been to Australia. So do we know when this action happened? Not really. It's different from simple past because in simple past, we know when an action happened. So for example, let's listen to the same sentence, but in simple past. I visited Australia last year. So I know when the action happened last year. But in this case, I have been to Australia. We don't know when. Okay. So we only know that it is an experience that happened in the past, and we still have the experience in the present.
The present perfect can also show a continuing action. It shows an action that started in the past and continues to the present.
Okay, keep this in mind. I told you that we use simple past when an action started in the past and finished in the past. Se usa pasado simple cuando la acción empezó en el pasado y terminó en el pasado. No continúa en el presente. On the other hand, present perfect is used when an action started in the past and continues to the present.
This action might continue into the future too. For example, I have lived in Toronto for 2 years.
Okay, so don't get confused because 2 years doesn't mean in the past. So I have lived in Toronto for 2 years. So this action continues in the present and it might continue in the future. Y puede que continúe en el futuro. So for example, if I say, I lived in Toronto 2 years ago, So that action is over. I don't longer live in Toronto. Yo viví en Toronto hace 2 años. ¿Qué quiere decir esa oración? Que ya no vivo en Toronto. Okay, so that action is over. But what happens if I say this? I have lived in Toronto for 2 years. Todavía es la acción que yo me mudé a Toronto el año pasado, perdón, in 2018, and I still live here in Toronto, okay? And I will continue living in Toronto. La acción, yo me mudé a Toronto en el 2018, todavía sigo viviendo en Toronto y voy a seguir viviendo en Toronto. So I'm using present perfect, no simple past, nor simple present. Present perfect.
The present perfect is formed with the auxiliary verb have and the past participle form of the main verb. Have changes forms depending on the subject. I have finished my homework. She has worked at this office for 12 years. My friends have seen that movie. With regular verbs, we use the verb plus ed to form the past participle. For example, the past participle of the verb walk is walked. With irregular verbs, the past participle changes into a different form. We do not use ed. For example, the past participle of the verb eat is eaten. Here are some examples of irregular verbs in their base form, past form, and past participle
Okay,
form.
so if you go to Google and Google like past participle verbs, you're going to find a table. It's going to give you the base form verb, the verb in simple past, and the past participle verb. So you're going to see 3 lines. La línea del verbo, el verbo base, el verbo en pasado simple y el verbo en pasado participio. So to formulate the present perfect, we use the 3rd line, which is this one. We don't use this one. Okay, we use this one. So be, was, were, been.
¿Qué relación tiene,
Listen.
teacher? Perdón. ¿Qué relación tiene el pasado participio con el presente perfecto?
That we use the past participle in the present perfect. It's going to be the main verb. So for example, if I say this, I have been to Guatemala twice. This one. So in this sentence, have is not the verb. Have is my auxiliary. So what is the meaning of have? Haber. Okay. So just remember, have or has means haber. So what is this sentence telling me? Yo he. What is the meaning of been in this case? Estado en Guatemala 2 veces. Like this. So the subject, we have the subject, the auxiliary have, que sería he, and been is estado. But what happens if I use the simple past form? Estuviéramos diciendo esto. Yo estuve en Guatemala 2 veces. ¿Tiene sentido esta oración? Yo estuve en Guatemala 2 veces. ¿Verdad que no tiene sentido? It makes no sense. So In English happens the same. In Spanish, we wouldn't say yo estuve. Yo estuve. No, yo he estado. Ah, so that estado is been in English. I lived in Guatemala for 4 years. Very good. That's fine.
Teacher, y ahí está usando los dos, ¿verdad? El pasado y el presente, podría decir, porque yo ahí es pasado,
No,
de que estuve.
no es
después-
pasado. Es
Bueno,
presente perfecto.
sí, pues sí, el presente perfecto está conformado de los dos, ¿no? Según
Sí.
el inicio del video, como entendí, del pasado, ¿cómo se llama?
Past participle.
Ajá, ajá. Y el otro que va en medio y también hacia el futuro, ¿verdad? Dependiendo dependiendo la oración como se forme, también tiene relación de que puede ir hacia el futuro.
Let's finish. I'm sorry. Let's finish the video.
Okay.
So, and I will explain later. Let's finish it.
Be, was or were. Been. Do, did. Done. Drink, drank, drunk. Eat, ate, eaten. Go, went, gone. Have, had, had. Run, ran, run. Say, said, said. Sleep, slept, slept. Write, wrote, written. He has eaten breakfast. We have had a dog for 8 years. My best friend has moved to another city. Look at the picture and say or write a present perfect sentence. For example,
Okay, so this is the first example.
I have lived in Australia all my life. Now you try.
Lorena.
Sería he has
Ujú.
been adopted.
Aquí está el verbo. Aquí está el verbo.
Entonces solo sería he has adopted.
He has. Y el verbo está en pasado participio. He has.
No, este sería has, ¿no?
No.
It has been, no.
Vaya. Acuérdense de que have y has van a ser los auxiliares. ¿Ok? Estos no son el verbo. El verbo lo vamos a poner en pasado participio. Entonces, he has had.
Ya entendí. He has had a
Ajá.
dog for 5 years.
Excelente.
Ya entendí, ya entendí.
Ok. Yes. Help me with this one, Sarai.
We have moved to another country.
Excellent. Carla Hernandez. Y justo se desconecta. Fajardo.
Buena, Carlos. She has
Ben.
been
Ajá.
to Toronto.
Excellent. Diego.
Diego está dormido.
Ya reactivé. Me salió ya el mensaje de acceso. Es que estaba, no sé, me habían muteado, no sé qué pasó.
Ajá.
Ujú.
Teacher.
Yes.
Yes.
Pero ya. Dice, voy yo, ¿verdad, teacher?
Yes.
Ok, and este, pizza. They have eaten a pizza?
An entire.
Entire pizza?
Excellent. Very
Ok,
good.
teacher. He puesto
They-
atención.
Very good. That's good. They have eaten an entire pizza.
Yes.
Carla Guerra.
The students have finished the test.
Carla, do we say the student have or has?
Have,
Why?
porque se está refiriendo a ellos. They.
We have only one student.
Ah, sí, tiene razón. Okay.
Ah,
Has finished the test.
excellent. The student has finished the test.
Thanks for watching.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's pay attention to this information. We use the present perfect for something that started in the past and continues in the present. When we are talking about our experience up to the present. So let's keep this in mind because you're gonna use this one, experience. So when we talk about experiences, we use the present perfect. Why are you gonna use this? Because you're going to have job interviews. Porque ustedes van a tener entrevistas de trabajo. Entonces, cuando les preguntan a ustedes, sorry, teacher, the power went out. No worries. So, for example, if they ask you, hey, do you have working experience? So I will have to use present perfect. Sí, yo tengo working experience. I have worked at Speak for 5 years, for example. Yo he trabajado con Speak por 5 años. So I'm expressing an experience. I have worked at Speak for 5 years, and I'm using present perfect.
Colecciona los 5 diseños de
Teacher,
vasos
pero no
y
entendí
pelotas
lo
de
del
Coca.
participio. Teacher.
Okay.
Que lo había puesto en el video y que había mencionado eso del presente o pasado participio, creo que fue que dijo.
Okay. So in English, we have this. Esto es lo que yo les decía, que si ustedes buscan past participle, les va a aparecer a table like this one. So you may find infinitive verb or base form verb. No, this one is better. Base form verb, past form, and past participle form. And present perfect We don't use this one. We don't use this one. We use this one. Why, teacher? Let's pay attention. Write means escribir. Wrote means escribió. And written means escrito. So if I use the present perfect to express an experience, I wouldn't use wrote. I will use written. Why? Porque solo póngase a pensar esto. Yo digo, yo he escribido un libro. Es como que si ustedes estuvieran diciendo, si ustedes, if you say, I have wrote a book, yo he escribido un libro, ¿verdad que no suena bien?
No.
No crea, teacher, acá hay gente tatareta que sí lo dicen.
I know. Se escucha súper fuerte su micrófono, Fajardo. Se escucha todo el ruido de afuera. Okay, so if we say, I have wrote a book, estamos diciendo yo he escribido un libro. No, in English we say, I have written a book. Yo he escrito un libro. Taken, tomado. I have taken English lessons. Yo he tomado clases de inglés. Chosen, yo he elegido. Driven, manejado. Eaten, comido. And so on. Okay? So just remember, in present perfect, we only use past participle verbs. These are past participle verbs. So now let's see.
The past participle, also called the perfect or passive participle, takes on the ed-en form and is used to express a verb's outcome in one way or another. While the root words are verbs, past participles can serve as several different parts of speech and are applied to a wide range of grammatical topics. Here are 10 things to know about the past participle form. 1. The past form of most verbs ends with ed, though irregular verbs take on different forms. The past participle form is identical to the past form for all regular verbs.
Okay, this person is mentioning something very important. Regular verbs are going to be the same in simple past and past participle. Esto no va a cambiar. Por favor, póngale atención a esto. Los verbos regulares no van a cambiar ni en pasado participio. Se van a mantener lo mismo. ¿Ok? However, irregular verbs will change. So, they're not going to be the same in simple past and in past participle form. They will change.
Some irregular verbs. Other irregular verbs, however, might have a different form for past participle, such as an en ending.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, some of them are going to remain the same, but most of them will not remain the same. For example, cost, cost, cost. Build, build, build. Find, found, found. Choose, chose, chosen. Ahí cambia. Get, got, gotten. Swim, swam, swam.
You can look up irregular verbs lists or charts to see how a verb changes from its base form to past participle. 2. There are only about 200 irregular verbs, which isn't very much, but some of the form is...
Okay, no, actually we are not going to watch this video because you may get confused, so let's better practice. So,
el cerebro.
no, es que está bien fácil, es que usted se confunde porque usted quiere. Vamos a ver, vaya, póngale atención a esto. This is the structure that we follow in English, okay, in present perfect. We have the subject, auxiliaries. Esto no es mi verbo, Esto es mi auxiliar. And this one is my verb. I have tried fish. Yo he probado el pescado. What if I want to turn this sentence into negative form? Solo agregamos el not. Okay? If you want, you can use contraction or you can use the entire word. For example, I haven't tried fish, or I have not tried fish. En la pregunta, como siempre se los he venido diciendo, in yes no questions, we change the position of the auxiliary. Y lo ponemos aquí. Have you tried fish? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. So we use present perfect. Well, actually, this is kind of long. For actions that are still happening, we use this tense when we want to talk about unfinished actions or states or habits that started in the past and continue to the present. Usually we use it to say how long, and we need since or for. We often use dative verbs. ¿Durante cuánto tiempo? O por cuánto tiempo? ¿Desde cuándo? How long have you known Bob? I've known Bob since 1998. Since significa desde y for significa por. Yo he conocido a Bob desde 1998. How long has Zara lived in Paris? She's lived in Paris for 5 years. Ella ha, esto es la forma contactada, ella ha vivido en París por 5 años. How long have you worked here? I've worked here for 2 months. We use since with a fixed time in the past. Para decir años, para decir desde que éramos niños, cuando éramos jóvenes, desde que me gradué, whatever. Desde las 8 de la mañana. We use for with a period of time. For 10 years, for hours, for a week. I've known Julie for 10 years. I've been hungry for hours. Yo he estado hambriento por horas. She's had a cold for a week. Ella ha tenido fiebre por una semana. So, let's pay attention to the difference between since and for. Desde, por. What happens if I want to use for here? Yo he conocido a Sara por 2012. Makes no sense. Entonces, I'm going to use since. I've known Zara since 2012. Yo he conocido a Sara desde el 2020. Ah, makes more sense. Life experiences.
Teacher.
Ajá.
Regresa. Rapidito ahí. Ahí en she. ¿Es she is o she has had a cold for a week?
¿Qué cree usted?
Has.
Has, right?
Yes, has.
Exactly.
Ah,
She
okay.
has had a cold for a week.
Es que me pareció escucharle. ¿Será que lo dijo muy rápido? Le escuché she is.
No, she's had.
Okay.
She's had. For life experience, present result, like this one. I've lost my keys, so I can get into my house. I lost my keys. I don't need help right now. So, present results, we often use the present perfect to talk about something that happened in the recent past, but it is still true or important now. Sometimes we can use the past simple here, especially in US English. Okay, in this case, this action or this action that started in the past is still affecting my present. I've lost my keys. He perdido mis llaves. Perdí mis llaves. This sentence is in present perfect and this one is in simple past. Quiero que le pongan atención a la diferencia. She's hurt her leg. Ella se ha lastimado su pierna. She hurt her leg. Ella se lastimó. Ha lastimado, se lastimó su pierna. They've missed the bus. Ellos han perdido el bus. They missed the bus. Ellos perdieron el bus. News and recent events. We use the present perfect to talk about something that happened recently, even if there isn't a clear result in the present. This is common to introduce news, and we often use the word just and yet, already. I'm sorry, just, yet, already, and recently. Pay attention to this one because this is in the platform. Just, yet, already, recently. However, the past simple is also correct in these cases, especially in the US English. Example, the president has announced new travel restrictions. I've just seen Lucy. A new gym has just opened. What's this, teacher? El presidente ha anunciado nuevas restricciones de viaje. I've just seen Lucy. Acabo de ver a Lucy. But actually, this is very weird to use it in American English. We don't normally use it. We use the simple past form. But just in case you see the structure, it means acabo de ver a Lucy. Not in this case, no en este caso. In this case, is to express that something has happened in a recent past. Es para expresar que algo acaba de pasar. Acabo de ver a alguien. A new gym has just opened. Un nuevo gimnasio acaba de abrir. Unfinished time words. We often use present perfect to say what we've done in an unfinished time period, such as today, this week, this year, etc., with expressions such as so far, until now, before, yet, recently, etc. So we have examples. Have you seen Sarah this week? No, I haven't seen her this week. ¿Has visto a Sara esta semana? No, no la he visto esta semana. Has Bob eaten today? ¿Ha comido Bob ahora? Yes, he has eaten today. Sí, ha comido ahora. Have your parents visited recently? I mean, have your parents visited you recently? No, they haven't visited me recently. ¿Te han visitado tus papás recientemente? No, no me han visitado recientemente. So we have unfinished. This week, today, lately, before, so far. Finished. Last week, yesterday, in my teens. 1 year ago, I'm sorry, when I arrived. We can use the present perfect with finished time words. I've seen him today. Not, I've seen him yesterday. Esto es imposible. No, lo he visto ayer. No, lo he visto hoy. She hasn't gone this week. She hasn't gone last week. Ella no ha ido la semana pasada. No, it doesn't work like that. So these are finished expressions and these are unfinished expressions. I know there wasn't like
¿Qué significaría in my teens?
En mi juventud. More questions? Okay. So guys, I know this topic is a little bit confusing because it is new for you. So because of the time, we're going to leave it here, sorry, and we're going to continue next week. So I will send you some videos about this topic because we need to reinforce it. It is very important to pass to intermediate, especially as I mentioned, when you have the interviews. We use present perfect on a daily basis, so we need to like get used to it and be familiar with the structure that we use. And of course, to know the difference between the simple past and present perfect. Because some students tend to get confused, as I mentioned, tend to get confused between this because we use, I mean, sometimes the same verbs, like played, well, especially regular verbs. So just remember the present perfect is like in Spanish that we say, yo he comido, yo he dormido, yo he visitado. Ese do que nosotros usamos, that is the past participle verbs. Comido, visitado, manejado, actuado, estado. And of course, we have some irregular verbs in Spanish as well, like visto, yo he visto. So those are irregular verbs in Spanish. Okay. So, teacher, están subiendo los videos de la clase anterior. ¿Y será que puedo subir las presentations al model? What's model?
No, Speed y Código no tienen las mismas plataformas.
Es verdad, va. No es el mismo, no es en la misma plataforma.
No, actually, I'll send you. Oh, yes, I have uploaded the videos on the YouTube channel.
Se quedó traumado con Muro.
Sí,
Fajardo.
les he estado subiendo todas las clases, incluso solo creo que la de ayer no he subido todavía. I haven't uploaded yesterday's class yet. I'm using present perfect. No he subido la clase de ayer todavía. I haven't uploaded yesterday's class yet. Aún or todavía. Okay, so I'll do it later. As I mentioned, I'm gonna send you some videos and I will send you the presentation. So
¿Cómo
guys,
sería? Perdón, teacher. ¿Cómo sería? Yo no me uní a la clase de ayer. I didn't join to the class yesterday. No.
I didn't join yesterday's class.
Yesterday class, okay. Así sería, ¿va?
Yes. Con el verbo join, nosotros no usamos to. No lo usamos, no usamos ningún preposition. No me uní a la clase. In Spanish, we use the preposition a, but in English, we don't use to. So we only say, I didn't join yesterday's class. That's it. So, guys, let me check attendance. Let's see. Carlos, no sé quién es este niño. No. Lorena, yes. Calvin, no. De León, no. Fajardo, yes. Gita, no. Hector, no. Amilcar, no. Sarai, yes. Carla Guerra, yes. Melanie, no. Andreas me escribe. Melanie, ella ve los videos. Carla Gabriela, yes. Madai también ve los videos.
Here,
Y
teacher. Okay.
Rodriguez. Okay, guys, so I'll see you next week. Please don't forget to complete the platform, and I'll see you on Monday. Take care and bye.